Hello, selectors, and welcome back to Life First Podcast. We're doing the Read With Me's. It's been a little bit since I did the last Read With Me. You guys haven't seen it yet, though, because I'm pre-recording in the future. But as always, this is going to be just sort of a read along with me. You guys might get some colorful commentary. You're going to see me mess up words as I go along. And we're just going to be learning about what happens after the story from the anime. This one's going to be episode 2. It is going to be taking place with Yuki Yuka, Maho Maho, and Miko Miko, which is the Kiru Kirum team, as well as my favorite team, the Uchino Hajimari team, Bang, Tamago, and Nova. I said that like Bang is the main part of that team. She's not. It's Tamago, but I think she is. And so you guys are going to go ahead and we're going to read together with this chapter. You guys are going to get some color commentary with me as we go along too, because I might talk about some of the team stuff. But we're going to start right away over here with episode 2, the indefatigable and undisputed heroine. Okay, let me go ahead and make sure I said that right, because that's an SAT word if I've ever seen one.
Indefatigable.
Indefatigable, which is a person of their efforts persisting tirelessly. Oof, well, there's your SAT word for the day. Hoping I never have to say it again. Moving right along. Here you go. It's my favorite snack. Dr. Tamago invited the 3 members of Kiru Kirun, Miko Miko, Maho Maho, and Yuka Yuka to her laboratory and took out her secret snack. I wonder what they're thinking. They were all suddenly called to the laboratory by Dr. Tamago. Miko Miko and the others were reasonably prepared for what she would say to them. They had expected this situation, were aware of what they had been doing so far. And yet, for some reason, snack time had begun. It's always snack time with Uchino Hajimari, guys. They love their snacks. I think their whole goal is to bring Bang into the real life explicitly to share cookies with Bang. So, it's snack time with Uchino Hajimari. Why don't you just tell us what you need? We don't have much free time ourselves, but we do have time for... I mean, you're not busy. That's good to know. Today, I wanted to ask you exactly what you've been doing these days. Alright, in the defense of Kiru Kirum, alright, if you guys watched the 1-minute video thing I put together for Kiru Kirum, they're busy with part-time jobs all the time, like constantly trying to help pay for their single mom and like twin like little sisters that have to go to school. So they are busy, Dr. Tamago. How dare you? Back to the story. Since Kiru Kirum announced a hiatus, the 3 had not been in a diva battle together. Dr. Tamago said she was a little concerned about the situation. We are doing okay. Don't you want to start working again? Dr. Tamago asked, and Miko Miko looked at the other 2. Maho Maho said, I am really wanting to work again. I would love to be cheered on by the selectors, have battles, and perform diva time. I can't have that kind of fun experience unless I'm a diva. I'll do it if you both say you'll do it. Right now, I don't have anything in particular to do, and I'm sure I'm not busy. As far as Miko Miko, to be honest, she has experienced demotions in her ranks and has since been passed over by younger members who started their activities less than she did. I guess later than she did. And each time she has acted like she didn't care, but it didn't mean that she didn't care at all. That's why she thought it was inevitable that she'd have to go on hiatus, and she felt a certain sense of resignation that she might really end up here. So, nothing's changed since the hiatus, and even if we work now, Dr. Tomogo was a little inwardly surprised to hear Miko Miko say something so realistic. However, she could see from her face that she must have some conflicting feelings. I understand how you feel, and here's the thing. Question mark? I think they're confused. What is she gonna say? Dr. Tomogo displayed an announcement on a premium event to be held in a few weeks on the monitor in front of them. Miko Miko and the others were aware of this event. It was a high-profile event where the winner would receive the right to challenge DXM. Shoutouts to the last episode where we found out there was a bunch of dream teams and No Limit was splitting up to try out some dream teams to try to do that. Back to story. If you perform well in this event and show your ability, it would be a positive thing for your team, wouldn't it? That's for sure. If we really can perform well, we could get close to the top diva and even become rich. Miko Miko's dream of becoming rich still seems to not have disappeared. But we've already announced that we're going on hiatus, and suddenly saying we're coming back might cause some animosity amongst the other divas and selectors. Maho said, and she looks worried, but Tamago brushes her off. Why don't we don't think everything is bad for Kiru either. Up until now, your efforts have taken a turn for the worse, but that's because your pride and desire to win as divas, isn't it? That's... You guys have been doing so well on staging and playing because there were so many selectors who wanted to support you. They feel as if she understood them, acknowledged their effort, and the three of them were happy but didn't really know how to react. It was embarrassing to have Tamago realize that. Yes, of course. Miko Miko stood up and got closer to Dr. Tamago. You're a little late noticing that now, you know. That's right, we're not that bad. It's just all the other divas are so naive. I guess Dr. Tamago's leading them on. Following Mr. Miko Miko and Maho Maho and Yuka. God, they have such hard names to say in sequence. Started to get into the swing of things, and Dr. Tamago sighed. That's why we cannot accept. So back to the story. After the three of them got back to their original seats, she reiterated the purpose of this meeting. If you really want to start over, I have a good idea. Won't you try it? Again, sorry guys if this is a little bit broken. The English is not perfect on this stuff, but I'm doing my best to sort of like fill in the words as needed. Later that day, they switched the members of Uchino Hajimari and Kirum's team. They formed a team out of Miko Miko, Dr. Tamago, and Nova, and the team of Maho Maho, Yuka, and Bang. Cool. So they split off to 2 different dream teams. Is Miko Miko, Dr. Tamago, and Nova a good team together? Yes, because Nova can find... I'm just doing card knowledge here. Nova can find multiple blue cards and white cards, which is pretty good, and they lack a lot of damage output, and Nova Supernova could potentially do that. Maho Mavo, Yuka, and Bang, I don't know. That one seems a little difficult. Yuka's more of a control deck kind of assist. Maho is just not really good. And Bang, she's the best center, so it's difficult to pair those. I'm being facetious with Bang being the best center, but I like her a lot. Is this the good idea you suggested? From the dubious looks on the faces of Miko Miko and the others, it was easy to see that they were not all welcome to the idea. But Dr. Tamago paid no attention and proceeded along with her story. I've set up a rehabilitation program for you in Bang. I suppose it's because Bang is an AI. So in Bang. In addition to that, I've also decided to give you some sort of direct guidance. She says that her plan is to rehabilitate Kirun's spirit by doing so. Nothing's impossible with the complete program that the doctor has especially put together. Bang looks motivated, as if it's her new mission. On the screen, she's stretching and already getting ready for some unknown reason. If this is my way God has pointed out. Nova pauses, placing her left palm to her forehead. Okay, so guys, Nova is very Chunin. Chuni, I don't know what the word is. She's got middle school syndrome. She is like all about the devil's curse is placed on my right eye. So she's gonna be talking like this the whole time. Phew! I knew I had to get it together to get to the event, but honestly, it's too much trouble. I'm sure it is. I mean, okay, my train is going by, so it's gonna say hello, everyone, if you can hear it. I mean, why are you doing all this for us? There should be no obligation for Dr. Tamago to take the time out of her own and her own members for Kirum. Of course, she's not the type to do it out of kindness or sympathy. Miko Miko and the others could not understand what the return would be for her. That's a fair question, Dr. Tamago says, then clears her throat with a cough and explains, holding up her index finger. You know, the diva battles are the subject of my research, right? I love Wecross Land, and diva battles because I see so much potential in them. I want to make it more exciting, develop it further, and research it. The best way to do that is to have lots of diva battles. In other words, this is for you guys, but most of all, it's for me. Oh, you mean you're a Wecross freak? Well, I can't deny it. And so what are you guys going to do now that you know that? What do you think, Maho Maho, Yuka Yuka? Saying that they would discuss it a little bit, Miko and the others began to whisper privately. I think it's a good idea. I think it's pretty good that we are going to participate in this event, but I don't like the idea of this rehabilitation program, Maho said. I think we can make good use of this rehab excuse for our revival. Yuka Yuka is right. I'm sure they'll be satisfied if we just pretend to go along with their farce for now. But besides that, the team swap could help us gather information. Certainly, if we could find out the deck structure and strategy of Uchi no Hajimari, we'd be able to beat them in some kind of ranked tournament. That's what I meant. Miko is a genius, as always. Hee, leave it to me. We've got a lot of work to do. The three of them returned to Dr. Tamago with confident expressions on their face. Okay, we're in. Dr. Tamago laughed at the three, who seemed to have regained their usual good mood, and said, "Now we're talking," as they began to plan their rehabilitation of Kirum and resume their activities. Here, we got a little bit of time break here. Here's the waiting line for the entrance. Here, the flyer for the event. Hey, isn't that Maho and Yuka of Kirum? Really? Why are they doing stuff like this as a staff member? The two of them helping with the operations based on a rehabilitation program set up in Bang. Alas, why am I doing this? Hi, ladies. Remember, smile in front of our guests. Bang, who was assigned by Dr. Tamago to rebuild the two of them, was blowing her whistle and instructing them in a brisk manner. When you're done helping with this, the next thing you'll be doing is volunteering to clean up. Cleaning is really dull, and there's no point in doing something like that if it doesn't make a penny. Miko will get mad at me. At Yuka's words, Bang blows the whistle again. Even if you don't get paid, doing something like this to help others first might get something out of it, you know? Not much is to be gained for doing something such as this is a pain in the ass. She didn't think there was any value going along with the menial tasks of queuing and flyer distribution, even after Bang's verbal admission. So to be clear here, what they're doing, guys, is in Wecross Land, you know, there's constant events at that, like, stadium area. So I guess they're volunteering to help out, like, with the day's activities and being a staff member there, instead of performing there. When she was about to say, "Okay, I'm quitting after all," she heard all the voices of the selectors that were passing by. "Look, isn't that Maho and Yuka? I've never seen them this close before. They're so cute. Why are they here? I haven't seen them around lately. Are they working support tasks?" She was so embarrassed and ashamed to be seen like this by the selectors. She wanted to run away. "If you don't finish handing out those flyers, you'll have to work overtime," Bang said. The two of them started handing out more and more flyers, trying to leave the place as soon as possible, under the merciless voice of Bang. A little bit of a story break here. Meanwhile, at Miko's houses at that morning, ring ring. Incoming calls this early in the morning should just be ignored, but the phone just kept ringing as if it would never stop. "Hello? Good morning, it's a beautiful day." It's not a good morning at all because of this call. When she answered the phone in desperation, it was a wake-up call from Dr. Tamago. Miko, who had been woken up very forcibly, was of course not in a good mood. "Nova should be there soon. After a cup of hot water, I want you to go for a run with her to the lab." So I guess they're meeting up in the really real world. She was about to make up her mind that she would definitely go to sleep again after hanging up this call, but what she didn't expect was that Nova would ensure that she had no route to escape. "What? You mean run? Seriously?" Dr. Tamago hangs up the phone, saying, "I wish you good luck," and she is even more merciless than she expected. "For real?" She sighed in her bed, and then the chime of her house rang. Puff puff. Miko managed to make it to Dr. Tamago's lab, cursing along the whole way. not only to herself, but also a Nova exhausted, stretched out with her body on the desk. Dr. Tamago, how many days must we continue this? Dr. Tamago was having a graceful breakfast, but while the two of them are exhausted from an unaccustomed long run, she said, well, that's every day until the day of the event. A healthy mind and a healthy body, you know? Nova, who had managed to get herself up, brings Dr. Tamago's special healthy breakfast full of vegetables and nutritious foods to her mouth and murmurs, this is also destiny. Miko Miko definitely decided to take Maho Maho and Yuka Yuka out tomorrow. Miko decided to take Maho Maho and Yuka Yuka out tomorrow. I guess she's saying that she wants to pull them out of the program. Anyways. Which two cards would you put in this deck? What's the best structure? What's the best structure to maximize the performance of this card? Dr. Tamago is asking a barrage of questions. And then the next question. What would you do if your Signy were to be vanished in this situation? Let me see. Wait a minute. The cards in my hand here are, look, a real battle, the time goes on and on, right? In Wixoss battles, there's so many situations where knowledge and understanding of the cards are needed in order to win the battle. It's also an important factor when building a deck. Dr. Tamago aimed to rehabilitate Miko Miko, not only by approaching her for her lifestyle and from a healthy perspective, but also by making her take Wixoss more seriously. If she learns to play the battles properly, she'll be capable of winning the game. This is probably why, secretly, Dr. Tamago is probably who I relate to the most. I'm just always, like, analyzing the situation a little bit too much. If you put the Signy in this lane, you'll do better, because it can't be vanished. Anyways. Well, you spent a week doing exactly what I told you to do. Is it over? Finally? Yeah. Not yet. The last thing I need you to do is have a diva battle between us, Uchi no Hajimari, and you, Kira Kirun, and take what you learned so far today and fight with all your might. A head-on battle with Uchi no Hajimari. No matter how much they've gone through in this period of rehabilitation, the chances of winning are still pretty low. If they lose this one, could it mean even more extended periods of rehabilitation? Ooh, that must be avoided at all costs. For a moment, Miko Miko remembered what she had said when she took this program, and took out her smartphone and hurriedly contacted Miko Miko and Yuka Yuka. On the last day of the rehabilitation program, they went to Wixoss Land. Okay, everybody, are you ready? Yeah, let's get started! Now, the battle between Uchi no Hajimari and Kiru Kirun is about to begin. Doctor, the three members of Kiru Kirun seem somewhat distant from each other. Are they nervous? As Bang and Nova noticed, Dr. Tamago had also noticed something unnatural about these three's behaviors. However, there was no time left before the entry deadline of the event, and they needed to test Kiru Kirun's ability at this point. Either way, it was just a training match. If something went wrong, it wouldn't be big trouble, and Dr. Tamago decided and announced the start of the battle. Okay, Nova, go! Roger, grow. All right. Okay, I'm ready. But we're not so easily to beat, don't underestimate us. The three members of Kiru Kirun did not flinch at Uchi no Hajimari's initial attack and dealt with the situation. They seemed actually quite confident, which is a complete change from their behavior earlier. It's our turn, Kirurun. See, you can't protect this, can you? I'm gonna vanish your Signy. This is a well-constructed battle. They seem to develop it with a lot of thought. Yeah, more than I expected. If she could say that this was the result of the program, all the better, but even so, she was concerned about how relaxed attitude the three had. They didn't seem to have gained confidence through the training. They might be up to something. No way! Have you found out already? Miko Miko and the others started smirking and laughing. Actually, we just happened to find your deck yesterday. Thanks to having two separate teams, we were able to find out a lot of information. It's not something to brag about, but they are proud of taking countermeasures by checking out their decks. Miko Miko stole fighting information from Dr. Tamago and Nova, and Maho Maho and Yuka Yuka stole fighting information from Bang, and by combining both of them, they seem to have figured out the way the entire flow of the game should be going. I don't really have everything in my head that you made me study, but I can get a rough estimation. Miko, she's a genius. You're getting more sophisticated than before, aren't you? I totally thought that's what this was about. She didn't expect Miko and the others to follow her wholeheartedly and honestly, but she didn't expect that they were probing her for information. It's true that gathering information on your opponents is a useful preparation move, but snooping on their decks isn't something I'm impressed with. Say whatever you want, Miko said, and the others showed no signs of regret. It's a nice battle to get your opponent off to a bad start. Yeah, it feels so good. I haven't had any battles with Miko lately, so I'm feeling a bit unsatisfied. That's nice of you to say, Maho. I guess the three of us are the best. That's right, Yuka. The three of them had not battled with this group in a long time, and are more excited than usual now. Perhaps the team bond has actually been strengthened by spending this rehabilitation apart from each other. Has the rehabilitation program failed? Doctor, I'm sorry. No. In fact, you guys did great. Miko and her team wouldn't have been able to do so well in this battle with us, even if they had our information in advance. That's true, and they seem to be having more fun than usual. The rehabilitation program may have created an unexpected byproduct. Come on now. Kirukirum has nothing to be afraid of. The battle continued between Miko and her team, who were strangely excited, and Dr. Tamago's team, who were fighting fair and square despite the fact that their deck information was leaked. I was naive to think that I could so easily reform you from the bottom of your heart. You should be thankful to us that we finished working such a painful program with you. After all, Dr. Tamago is unintentionally impressed by the three people who were not so straightforward. Even so, there's a danger that they might cause problems again if they're released back into the Diva program with nothing changed from before. That wouldn't be good for them, nor would it be good for Wixoss Land. This time, however, they ended up losing to Uchino Hajimaru. Kirukirum still had an advantage until the final phase, and when they were right about to win by one more step, the three of them seemed pleased by that fact, but it's not okay to leave them like this. Take a look at this. Dr. Tamago shows Miko and her team the comments of the selectors posted on the social networking sites. I saw her the other day helping out with operational tasks. She's so great. I was lost and didn't know where the reception desk was, and she showed me the way. I heard they were relearning cards for their comeback. I have a good feeling about Kirukirun. I want to support them again if they're working that hard. Everyone is watching what you're doing. Miko replies, I'm not happy about this. But it's true that this period of time has created a positive situation for your return. If you do nothing but repeat the same mistakes that you've made in the past without any regrets, we say we expose that you cheated today. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Ugh. Miko looks at Maho and Yuka. She knows that in order for Kirukirum to come back, they better not miss this good opportunity. Perhaps the two of them feel the same way she does. Okay, I get it. I apologize for trying to win by cheating this time. I actually remembered how it felt when I became a diva after hearing the real voices of the selectors and facing Wixoss again. From now on, I'll do my best to do it right and not do anything wrong. Miko struggled to look up straight at Dr. Tamago's face. She was not good at conveying these kinds of words. I mean, look, thank you for your help. Dr. Tamago's smile was both dumbfounded and pleased, and she replied, You're welcome. We promised. Doctor, are you okay with this? I can't believe them. Well, even if they break the promise, we have a trump card. It'll serve as a bit of a deterrent, let's say. Thanks to Dr. Tamago's support, Kirukirum activities were revived, and it was announced in Wixoss Land that the rehabilitation period came to an end. Miko, are you sure we can keep such a that you can keep such a promise? In other words, as long as they don't find out that we break it, it's fine, right? Yes, you're the best, Miko. You're a genius. Trust me, an undisputed heroine who never gives in to anything. Okay, that's the end of that. Episode number 2. So it looks like Miko and the crew are back to playing Wixoss, which is great. And they're going to continue being the heels, which is probably also great, because they're kind of an adorable team that way. Thanks for reading along with me, guys. And Chapter 3 is coming out next.